Welcome to Lies We Like, the Self-Delusion of American Higher Education. I'm Stephen Ludwig. There's a great documentary on Netflix about Abercrombie & Fitch called White Hot. Abercrombie used exclusivity as a major selling point. They only hired staff that looked a certain way. Employees acted as if customers were lucky to shop in the store. And for a while, Abercrombie & Fitch were killing it. They made a ton of money. The company's CEO said, as their culture, a lot of people just don't belong in their clothing. All this snotty behavior created an air of exclusivity, and people loved it. Now, what's funny is it's the exact same thing that college rankings do. The rankings provide an air of exclusivity, and we, the public, love it. We love to belong to clubs that others can't get into. Now, how do these rankings measure exclusivity? Colleges and universities are rewarded in ranking systems by how few people they let in. Let that sink in. These great bastions of learning and research, those we think are the best and the brightest of all of us, these noble institutions that are there for a greater good, they're rewarded not for lifting people up, but for leaving people out. This isn't about who is academically qualified, it's about status, and it's about prestige. Now, another major factor in rankings is what university and college presidents think about other colleges and universities. Now, I'm curious, do you think these presidents spend hours poring over the research and just thinking hard, and they're going over the research that was developed by other academics to begin to understand the quality of these other institutions? Do they worry about how their answers will impact other schools and impact their missions? Maybe, do they just wing it? I don't know. No one knows. Basically, that's no better than an opinion poll. Now, it's some Twilight version of opinion poll. Hey, who do you think's the best looking kid in junior high school? Is it A or B? Hey, who do you think the best college is in this? Is it A or B? It's the same thing. Many of these rankings actually provide zero indication. I'm serious. These rankings provide zero indication of how a student will grow, what they will learn, or what they will experience at an institution, which means these rankings are what? A scam. Now, everyone knows this, but most are afraid they can't compete for the best and the brightest, that usually means the richest students, if they don't participate in these ranking systems. So this race for rankings distorts behavior, which means it's bad for students, it's bad for the community, and it's bad for our country, which means these rankings are bullshit. Not convinced? Tell me this. How does the ranked institution provide a better quality of education than the unranked institution? And then exactly how do they know? The short answer is they don't. I'm curious. When you admit really bright, overachieving students, many of whom had access to all sorts of schools, tutors and extracurricular and what have you, how do you think those students will perform? Yeah, they'll crush it, just like they crush everything else in their lives. So what value add did that highly ranked university actually provide to that student? The schools can't tell you because they refuse. They refuse to measure such things. Now, we can figure out the age of the universe, 13.7 billion years. We can measure the mass of an atom, but we can't figure out how to measure if a college or university is good and what they do and what they provide. Why is that? Because no one wants to. So what do they do instead? They rely on these third-party, made-up, worthless rankings to fool us that those rankings are a stand-in for what? Quality. Again, this is complete bullshit. Richard DeMillo, a professor at Georgia Tech University and an author on higher education, said, when it comes to rankings, education is nearly absent, and that the rankings are an attempt at quantifying prestige. They are not an attempt to tell us how well students perform or what they learn. If you want a lot more evidence, just Google, are college rankings a scam? U.S. News and World Report created college rankings for one reason and one reason only, to sell more magazines. It wasn't to serve some sort of high-minded mission. They wanted to make a buck off of your insecurities and they've been very successful at it. They spawned an entire industry. So the next time someone brags about the ranking of an institution or how few people got into the college that they or their child got into, remember, rankings are nothing more than good marketing. They do not tell you the quality of education that you or your child will receive. Rankings do not measure anything real. Thanks for watching.